Welcome back to Lucia Paris Fine Interiors. Today we'll be working on the exterior in the garden and working on some garden plant boxes. A lovely friend of mine gave me these boxes. There's actually 3 of them. Not sure what he used them for before, but they were just shipping container boxes that he was going to throw out, and said, Lucia, can you do anything creative with these? So I thought, why not make a really affordable DIY garden planter box where I can plant lots of lovely herbs and vegetables and hopefully fruits. I wanted it to look something like these pictures. Obviously it's a different material that we're working with, but something along that line that looks quite modern and chic at the same time in the garden, just to give it a bit of an elevated look. Firstly, I'm going in with a colour wash. You might have seen me use these on previous videos. If you want to check any of my upcycling videos out, then please go give them a watch. I'll link them below. But I'm just going in with some French chic paint. This is in the shade Cool Bean, and mixing that down with water just to give it a nice whitewashed wood effect, just to remove the orange tone that the wood currently has. You won't see in this clip, but I did actually go in with some waterproofing spray, just what I had in the garage, just to give the wood some longevity, because obviously whitewash isn't going to protect the wood, so hopefully the waterproof spray does its job. But if not, then these were free and it's totally fine. But you can see the difference that the whitewash has made to the box. It just looks so much more expensive. I would love to know if you've got any recommendations for some waterproofing varnish that I can use on wood. I didn't actually get this on camera, but I lined each box with some tarp, which I got from B&M. I think it was about £4 or £5, so really inexpensive. And I just staple gunned this to the lining of each box. This is just to prevent weeds coming through. So I'm just going in with some organic soil. This is really good for vegetables and growing herbs and things like that. My mum's actually come round today to give me a hand, which was very nice of her. So yeah, I actually bought 4 big bags of organic soil, and it was basically just about enough, so I might actually have to go out and buy some more for the rest of the jobs that I've got in the garden. But yeah, I would recommend organic soil if you are planting vegetables and fruit. I also, as you can see a little bit there, that we put down some spare wood that we had in the garden, and also some bits of cardboard. I read online that you can kind of save yourself a bit on soil if you put down some natural materials like wood. It's also good for the plants, so the roots aren't sat in water or any bogged down soil, so they can still breathe nicely. I'm definitely by no means an expert at gardening, but all I did to plant the herbs in the pots was just to remove it from its packaging, carefully loosen the roots because they were quite tight, and just planted them in the soil, pushed down on the bottom to make sure they were quite secure in there, and just repeated. I know that you can separate basil and probably other herbs to divide it up into more, so you can actually grow more in a container, but in all honesty I just couldn't be bothered. I already bought 4 packs of basil, so that was enough for one box, I think. And yeah, I definitely will try that technique in the future, but for now I just had a lot to do in the garden, so I couldn't really be bothered fussing about with breaking up the basil. But I do know that that is a technique that you can use, so if you do want to try that to get more from what you've just bought, then definitely do that. It's definitely worth saving some money. And then I'm just going in with some flat leaf parsley, and then I also got some chives and some curly leaf parsley, and I think that's it. I did want to get some thyme, but they didn't have any, so I ended up actually propagating some myself, which you will see later on. But yeah, I'm just carefully removing it from the packaging and placing it in, and yeah, just give it a water. This soil has got lots of nutrients in it already, so I don't need to top it up with any food for the plants yet, but that's basically it. It's quite simple. really found this process quite therapeutic. I really like being in the garden, especially when the sun is shining and it's lovely outside. So I definitely recommend some gardening if you ever feel stressed, because it is really good for mental health. I think I've read that somewhere as well. I swear I've just not made that up. But I'm just going in with my little cute watering can. This was mainly just for the shot, to be honest, because I went in after with a bigger bottle of water because it obviously wasn't enough. But yeah, I'm just going in with some water. Make sure you feed the plants, especially when it's out in the sun. They've just come from a shop with harsh LED lights, so definitely make sure you give it a good looking after, and yeah, a nice water. As I mentioned before, the shop didn't have any time, so I just had some time in the fridge from a packet that I bought from Waitrose, and I'm just trying to propagate it in my kitchen. As you can see, I've tried to give it a little warm incubator space, and hopefully I should be able to plant these soon, fingers crossed. But this is the final result. Please ignore the mess of the garden. I still need to do a garden makeover, so make sure you are subscribed for that. But I really like how these herb boxes turned out. I mean, I know that they're not perfect. They weren't perfect to begin with, but the fact that I saved them from the trash, I am quite pleased with, and I found a new purpose for them, and also got to grow my own herbs outdoors, which I've wanted to do for such a long time. And I know that summer is nearly over in England, but you know, it's never too late. If anyone's got any ideas and tips on how I can stand up my coriander, because as you can see it was falling over a little bit there, if you've got any tips of how I can support it, then please let me know. But I hope that you really enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. I also got these little herb name places, or whatever you call them, from the range, really inexpensive, and I just had some labels at home in the drawer that I could use just to differentiate which herb is which I already know anyway, but you know, just for aesthetics, I think it looks really cute. But yeah, I will link them below for you, and I'll link as much as I can below. Obviously these boxes were given to me, but I will try my best to find something similar. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye!